Good morning, my dear students. I am very happy to meet you again through our this video class. Today, we're going to discuss about the regulation of gene expression that comes in fifth lesson, molecular genetics. In the previous classes, I think you have completed about the DNA is the genetic material. And the DNA replication and the central dogma of DNA. Central dogma of DNA. The central dogma of DNA is nothing but the DNA that is transcribed to form messenger RNA. So formation of the single-stranded messenger RNA from DNA is called transcription, and from the messenger RNA, the protein or the amino acid sequence which forms the protein is formed. So formation of the protein from messenger RNA, because messenger RNA giving code information for synthesis of protein in a cytoplasm of the cell. The process is called translation. So formation of messenger RNA from DNA is called a transcription. So during the synthesis of all proteins in all living system, including the prokaryotes like E. coli bacteria, is a DNA that is playing a major role for synthesis of this protein like enzymes and hormones. And here, during the formation of these enzymes and hormones, you must remember the central dogma of protein synthesis. So in the previous classes, I think you studied well about the structure of DNA, replication process, and the transcription and the translation process which actually occurs at the time of protein synthesis. So now we know that the DNA, that is the genetic material in prokaryotes like E. coli bacteria as well as in eukaryotes, except viruses, the DNA is genetic material that is organized in a chromosome, and forming the gene. So DNA is organized in the genes, and genes are nothing but the segment of nucleotide sequence. Genes are nothing but a sequence of the nucleotide which are responsible for synthesis of a specific type of protein. We call this as a gene. And we already know about the structure of gene, how these are organized in a chromosome, and also how the genes are responsible for the genetic information. That is how the gene function is expressed. Genes that actually carries the information from one cell to another cell in the form of gene code. It is called as the gene code. The gene code is also called triplet code, or it is also called codon. Gene code or triplet code or codon, these are nothing but the successive three nucleotide present in the DNA. So this structure is responsible for the expression of genetic character in all organisms, including the prokaryotes as well as the eukaryotes. So you remember the central dogma of protein, right? Whenever you study about the formation of any enzymes and hormones in cells, both eukaryotic as well as prokaryotic cell. So now, in molecular genetics, the fundamental issue that how the gene expression and the regulation of the gene occurs. Right? In a molecular genetics, how the regulation of gene and the gene expression is actually happened. Here, the previous experiments, the data or the research so far we have done in this particular field, that is the molecular genetic, we have more evidences that the functions of gene can be turned on and turned off. Right? How the gene function is turned on and how the gene function is turned off. The detailed researches were made in both prokaryotic as well as eukaryotic cell. And here, if you take E. coli bacterium, E. coli is prokaryotes. As I said earlier, the DNA is the genetic material. So many research work regarding the gene expression is done in E. coli bacterium. And because of fast replication, and we learn more about its the characteristics of gene and other things. So a lot of research work have been done in E. coli bacterium about the gene expression and also gene regulation. Actually, the functions of gene expression regulation can be controlled or inhibited, that is at different stages. That's why I said you have to remember about the central dogma of protein synthesis, because the expression of gene, it is controlled at the transcription stage. Transcription or post transcription or translational level. So transcription is nothing but formation of the messenger RNA. So at messenger RNA formation, the process may be inhibited or initiated, or sometimes the process may be initiated or that is inhibited at the translational process also. So all these three processes that actually takes place during formation of any type of protein, both in prokaryotes as well as eukaryotic cell. So here in today's topic, we're going to study about how the gene expression is actually inhibited or initiated at a transcriptional level. Right? During transcription or during formation of messenger RNA, how the process of gene expression is inhibited or initiated. Here, transcription, that actually, formation of this single stranded, that is DNA into messenger RNA. In prokaryotes, that is in the case of E. coli, the genes, when actually the DNA when transcribed to messenger RNA, a single gene, right, that is called monocistronic RNA is not formed. Actually, monocistronic RNA is formed only in the case of eukaryotic cell. But in the case of prokaryotes, when DNA transcribed to form messenger RNA, here the messenger RNA contain one or more than one genes are present. So if many genes are present, more than 2 or more than 3 or 5 or 10 genes are present which are responsible for the formation of different types of protein, that messenger RNA unit is called as the polycistronic unit. It is called polycistronic unit. So, but in the case of eukaryotes, during a transcription process, only one messenger RNA is formed. The one messenger RNA is responsible for only one type of protein, either enzymes or hormones. But in prokaryotes like E. coli, the polycistronic unit, that is many genes are present which are responsible for the formation of many enzymes or many proteins. So this is a unique structure here in the case of E. coli bacterium. So here how the transcription process, that is at this transcription process, the gene function that regulates. So here in E. coli bacterium, this process, right, which are responsible for one protein, that we call this as an operon. The structure we call this an operon. So operon is nothing but it is a cluster of genes. It is a cluster of genes which are responsible for different function, but they are interrelated with one another. Related function but different. So the cluster of genes actually present always together in a particular DNA. If any one gene is not actually transcribed during a transcription process, the whole process, that is the formation of the particular enzymes, one or many enzymes, may not be produced. So the cluster of genes which are responsible for the relevant function but different function, that we call this as the operon. In the case of E. coli, there are about 260 genes are present. 260 genes are present, but all the 260 genes are, that is forming a 75 the operon clusters. 75 operons are there. So during the transcription, as I said earlier, only 75 messenger RNAs are formed. But these are responsible for the synthesis of more than 260 different types of enzymes. But out of this 260, any one gene is actually not transcribed to form messenger RNA. That particular enzymes or particular protein will not be produced. So here, if you take a structure of the operon, here it actually, as I said earlier, this contain a cluster of gene segment. It's a cluster of gene segment. The cluster of gene segments actually contains the I gene. The I is nothing but inhibitor gene or inhibitor or regulator. Inhibitor or regulator gene. And one or two promoter genes present. One or two promoter genes are present. These are called promoter genes. Right? And close to the promoter, the one more gene is present called O, or it is an operator gene. It is called operator gene. And close to the operator gene, one or many, the genes are present called structural genes. This is called structural genes. So in the case of E. coli bacterium, right, the structural gene present very close to the operator. The structural gene, here it is Z, Y and A. So during the process of transcription, as I said, the whole segment, right, the operon segment that are transcribed to form it's a relevant messenger RNA segments. So the operator gene is present between the promoter and the structural genes. This one is the promoter, and here a structural gene. Operator is present between the structural genes and the promoter gene. And between the promoter gene, the inhibitor or regulator genes are present. This is a structure. Here, the operator gene, the main function of the operator gene, that actually a substance, a kind of protein produced by the regulator gene, that regulator protein, the name of the protein is called regulator protein, that is produced by the regulator gene, bind with the operator region. It binds with the operator. During the regulation of the gene function, the operator gene function is inhibited or initiated by the presence or absence of the regulator protein. And if the regulator protein function is inhibited, the remaining segment, right, that is nothing but the structural gene is not transcribed to form messenger RNA. The concerned messenger RNA from the structural genes will not be produced because the regulator protein binds with operator gene, so operator gene is not able to transcribe to form the structural messenger RNA for the structural genes. The promoter region, actually promoter is actually present between the inhibitor gene and the operator gene. This promoter genes is the site for the binding that is RNA polymerase enzyme. RNA polymerase enzyme. So you remember that promoter region is the place for binding RNA polymerase. It is a binding site for RNA polymerase. And IR regulator or inhibitor region. Regulator or inhibitor region is responsible for the synthesis of the inhibitor protein. This is the regulator site or regulator region. And operator region or operator gene is the binding site. It is the binding site for regulator protein and structural gene. There is one or many structural genes are present responsible for the formation of the protein or enzymes. Right? This is a structure of the operon. Now, what is actually this lac operon concept? So here, lac operon, or it is also called lactose operon. So in the case of bacteria, or in the case of it is E. coli bacteria, generally the metabolites either intracellular or extracellular metabolites are responsible for initiating or inhibiting the gene expression. Inhibitor, that is substances, right, that may be present either inside the cell or outside the cell. So that metabolites are more important. And in addition to that, in E. coli bacteria also, the glucose is the respiratory substrate. Glucose is the respiratory substrate. But in the absence of glucose, lactose. Actually, glucose is the monomeric units of carbohydrate. Glucose is the simplest form of carbohydrate, but is the monosaccharide. But lactose is the disaccharide. So, if glucose is not available for the bacteria to get energy, the lactose that is brought from other sources into the cytoplasm of the cell that undergoes the metabolic process. But lactose cannot be oxidized as it is. So, lactose also should be converted into glucose or another monosaccharide called galactose. Glucose and galactose. So, lactose is a disaccharide, and lactose on hydrolysis that is converted into glucose and galactose. Right? So, when the glucose is not available, how lactose metabolism takes place in the E. coli bacterium. So how the process actually takes place, this segment of these genes which are function for the hydrolysis of lactose. So this gene segment we call this a lac operon or lactose operon. Lac operon, lactose operon. Here for metabolism of lactose, for metabolism of lactose, 3 enzymes are required. 3 enzymes are essential. The first one, right? The enzyme name is called permease enzyme. Second is beta galactosidase enzyme. Beta galactosidase enzyme. Third one, trans acetylase enzyme. Right? Permease enzyme, beta galactosidase enzyme, trans acetylase enzyme. These 3 enzymes are essential for the metabolism of lactose. But these 3 enzyme synthesis actually regulated by 3 different genes, but all 3 different genes are present continuously in a DNA sequence. The permease enzyme, it helps to bring the lactose from other sources into the bacterial cells, into the bacteria, into the cytoplasm, bacteria. And beta galactoside, once the lactose enters into the cell, the lactose, as said, it is a disaccharide. It is a disaccharide. On hydrolysis, the disaccharide is converted into glucose plus galactose. Glucose and galactose. So lactose disaccharide is converted into 2 monosaccharides. That is the main functions of the galactosidase enzyme. And trans acetylase, another enzyme. During the metabolism process, during metabolism, when the glucose and galactose undergoes the energy releasing process, the intermediary product called acetyl-CoA is formed. This acetyl-CoA, that is from the acetyl-CoA, the acetyl group for acetylation process during translation. This actually brought to the beta galactosidase by trans acetylase enzyme. So I think this already you studied in translation process. Without acetylation is nothing but the binding of both the transfer RNA as well as the messenger RNA. So during this acetylation process, from the acetyl-CoA, the acetyl group, right, brought to the galactosidase enzyme by trans acetylase enzyme. So if any one of these enzymes is absent, here the lactose metabolic process will never take place. So actually the process of lactose metabolism takes place in the absence of glucose. If any one of these enzymes is not produced, the lactose metabolism also will be inhibited or stopped. If lactose is not available to the bacteria, bacterial multiplication will be stopped. Actually, this is the basis for the formation of many pharmaceutical drugs to inhibit or to destroy the pathogenic bacteria. This is a basic principle for the formation or synthesis of the medicine, in the pharmaceutical industry to produce the different types of these medicines. Now here, the Lac-Operon process, how the regulation takes place, that is explained by the scientist called Jacob and Monod. They explained the gene expression and gene regulation in the case of bacteria. How they are replacing this lactose. So in their experiment, as I said earlier, if glucose is present, the glucose is available. Okay, glucose is available. The utilization of lactose is inhibited. Utilization of the lactose is inhibited. How it is actually inhibited? So here you remember that is a segment Here promoter region, inhibitor region, another promoter region, operator and structural genes. Structural genes. So in the absence of inducer, remember this, the inducer is nothing but lactose. So in the absence of inducer, the inhibitor gene produce the single stranded mRNA. The mRNA is called regulator. Okay, regulator mRNA. Now the regulator mRNA, that is transcribed from inducer gene, and it undergoes the further process called translation and produce the regulator protein. Remember this, the protein actually this is formed after transcription as well as the translation process. Now the regulator protein bind to the operator gene. The regulator protein bind to the operator gene. So what is the function of the operator gene? Operator gene is actually inhibited. The structural gene transcription is inhibited. The structural genes here Z, Y and A gene. So the structural gene transcription is at the transcriptional stage. Here the process is inhibited because of the inhibitor protein. The inhibitor protein or regulatory protein is actually produced, right, by the regulator gene. So in the absence of glucose, in the presence of glucose, this inhibitor gene is activated. Inhibitor gene is activated, and inhibitor gene produce the protein called regulator protein. Regulator protein bind with this operator gene. So operator gene is not able to transcribe to form the structural messenger RNA. Right? And suppose if the glucose is absent, lactose is the source. Lactose is the source, or lactose is acting as an inducer. This lactose inducer or lactose and allolactose. This is another form of this lactose or another carbohydrate. The lactose and allolactose act as an inducer, and this inducer bind with the regulator protein. So suppose imagine if the regulator protein is here, this lactose binds with here this protein, and the regulator protein is unable to bind with the operator gene. Here if the operator gene is free, right, if the operator gene is free, the RNA polymerase enzyme. This RNA polymerase bind with the promoter region. And it initiate the process of transcription. So here you have to remember these two things. One, in the presence of glucose, when operator gene function is completely suppressed by the regulator protein, RNA polymerase enzyme is not able to bind with the promoter region. So the further transcription of structural gene is inhibited. Right? This is called positive regulation of the gene expression. Right? If the polymerase enzyme is not bind with this protein, right, and is not able to continue this formation of messenger RNA in the structural gene, that we call is a positive regulation of the gene expression. Once either the lactose or allolactose bind with this regulator protein, and when the regulator protein is not able to bind with the operator gene, the operator gene function that is stops or inhibits the transcription of the the structural genes, right? The structural genes. So during when the lactose and allolactose act as a inducer, the three genes A, Z, Y and A, these three are actually transcribed to form messenger RNA. So as I said earlier, this single messenger RNA segment, now it actually possesses the gene for formation or synthesis of three different enzymes. So here this is Z messenger RNA, Y messenger RNA, A messenger RNA. The Z messenger RNA is after, actually formation of messenger RNA is from the DNA is called a transcription. After translation, the Z mRNA, that synthesis, the enzyme called beta galactosidase, right? Beta galactosidase. Now the part of the messenger RNA, that is Y, that actually responsible to synthesis, the enzyme called permease enzyme. And A gene, that is responsible to synthesis, the trans-acetylase enzyme. Now, when the lactose or allolactose is present, obviously the three enzyme synthesis is initiated, and the three genes transcribed to form three messenger, not actually three, single messenger RNA. It is a polycystonic unit, but three different enzymes are formed. And there is a beta galactoside, permease, and there is a transacetylase. So obviously this permease allow the galactose into the cytoplasm, and beta galactoside now breaks the lactose into glucose and galactose, and the further metabolic process takes place, and oxidation of glucose and galactose takes place to release energy, that is in the form of ATP molecules. So here it is called negative regulation. The process is called negative control of transcription initiation. If glucose is present, that is called positive initiation of the gene regulation. So as I said earlier, this concept is actually used to prepare or to manufacture the different kinds of pharmaceutical drugs to inhibit the growth of the different pathogenic bacteria. So lacoperon is nothing but contains a cluster of genes which actually has the promoter gene, operator gene, and a structural gene and the inhibitory genes. So this cluster of the structure we call this a polycistronic, this DNA or polycistronic messenger RNA. So my dear students, so you go through the book. It is an easy concept the process is actually applicable for the formation of the different types of medicine, like there is chloramphenicol, azithromycin medicines, and tetracycline, neomycins, like different types of medicines that is actually prepared, and these medicines actually prevent the bacterial growth either during the transcriptional stage or post transcription or translational process. So you go through this. Thank you very much for watching my video. Thank you very much.